Well, okay. So, well, let's just, we might as well just get on with it, people. We've kind of established a rhythm here, so let's just check in. We're here again. This is the third one today, and that's it, people. After this, tonight, it's like, forget it. We're going to go on to Friday. But for now, tonight, it is a chance to learn how to, again, love thyself. The question is, which sign is it going to be? We're going to find out soon enough. Hello, Joe. Hello, Laura. Hello, Delicia. Hello, Linda. Yeah, it's okay. It's just that we're very, very picky. Laura, it's all right. It's a very exclusive crowd. It's like a, what's that expression? It's an acquired taste. Got it? An acquired, not a quiet taste, an acquired taste. Get it? Hola, Kay. Hola, Kay. You were the first here, so you get some recognition. Hello, Queen of Water. This is not a regular show. This is actually going to be a recording for one of the October reports for one of the signs. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's go to the other stage, people. Hang in. Some of you have been here before. Yes, Laura, I know what you're saying. I really do feel that sometimes. It's really strange. It's so bizarre. Hola. Hola, hola. I don't speak Spanish, by the way, but it sounds good. Hola. Cheers, welcome. It's happy hour over here. So here's where we are so far. Right now, tonight, already we've had reports for Cancer. We've done Leo. We did Aries, okay? We did Virgo. We got Pisces up and running. We got Aquarius. We did Scorpio, Capricorn, and Taurus. So we have 3 more to do. We're going to have 1 tonight and 2 tomorrow on Friday. All right, so that's it. Let's put all of these guys away because these are already on the channel. And by Friday night, that will actually be organized into a real live Tarot Illumination playlist. So all we have now, people, all we have remaining is, Libra and Gemini and Sagittarius. So that's it. And each one of them has their own, guess what, as you know already, their own magic post-it notes in the box. Yep. It could be anything. It could be anything, anybody. So there's no point in it. It's statistically, it could be anybody. Any one of these. All right, so I'm just going to get on with it. I don't want to leave you guys in suspense. Okay, no magic, no frills, no strings, no magnets, no mirrors, nothing. It's just straight, raw, live tarot illumination. This is it. There's only 3 left. It's dwindling. It's dwindling. Let's see what it is. Let's see what it is. I'm just going to pick one. Okay, I have one in my hands. The others can stay there, as you can see. No fudging. It's so much more fun to do this live with you guys, even if it's only a few of us in a secret club. It's Sagittarius. Yep. That's who we're going to read for tonight. No prepping. We're going to go totally blind, totally wild, all right? Okay. Don't worry, Laura. We'll see you soon, okay? Maybe check in tomorrow if you're eager for a Gemini. Tomorrow, I guarantee tomorrow, Friday, you're going to get the Gemini and the Libra, okay? So just chill, okay? Don't worry, Laura. You'll get your Gemini thing tomorrow. But tonight, it's going to be Sagittarius, okay? And this is the Sagittarius post-it notes. And we're going to put this into post-it note heaven because this post-it note has lived its life and done its purpose, okay? Goodbye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. And we're going to put the little box away, the magic box with the last 2. That's it. Until Friday, tomorrow. So tonight, we're going to be reading for Sagittarius. There you are. Magnanimous, wonderful, outspoken, sometimes outrageous, sometimes in your face, but never a dull moment with Sagittarius. Yep. That's what it's like, people. So, let me get straight to the point here. Here is the Astrodoodle. I've shown this to everybody. You can just fast forward if you want. We begin the month with the new moon in Libra, so I'll show you what that means for the Sagittarius in a moment. It's actually a hangover from the end of September, but I don't care. I like to be very fuzzy on the edges when it comes to the astrology. I'm not strict about the exact angle. Sometimes I get very picky, but in certain things I give myself a lot of wiggle room, okay? Over here, at the middle of the month, around the 14th, we're going to have the full moon in Aries. Now, of course, you've already figured out, Sagittarius, if you watch this channel a lot, that the Libra-Aries axis is actually kind of fun for you. It's kind of sweet energy, but do not be fooled. There can be a lot of challenges and interesting, amazing new stuff that you can learn and incorporate in your life, and you can tap into this, okay? For your own evolution and spiritual growth. And you're always seeking, Sagittarius, you're always the seeker of new horizons, new vistas, new challenges, new heights. It never stops for Sag, okay? So also towards the end of the month, we've got the new moon in Scorpio, okay? So that's a very different energy for you, Sagittarius. That rules your 2nd house, okay? No, I'm sorry, it rules your 12th house, okay? So by the time you get into the end of the month, you might get a certain kind of like sinking feeling like, because when everything dives into the 12th house, it's that point of reckoning. It's like you're getting ready to witness the 12th house energy as you go through the November cycle before you get into the Sagittarius cycle, okay? So we're in October, sweet. November, Scorpio season, awkward. And then back to Sagittarius. It's a cycle. You'll see what we talk about over the next few months. Don't you worry. Now, yes, Joe, I see that. Yes, you all have Sagittarius somewhere in your chart. That is for sure. Is it accented in some way? Remember, Tarot Illumination, I don't know a lot about the esoteric points like Pallas and Lilith and all the other fixed stars and all that. You have to go deep into the astrology for that. I could do it theoretically, technically, but really, it's enough just to handle the basic energy of the planets. Okay, so Sagittarius is over here. This is you. This is your own astrodoodle, okay? Sagidoodle. I was gonna say this is your own Sagidoodle, but I managed to catch myself in time. This is the Sagidoodle for Astro. This is the Astrodoodle for Sagro. Excuse me. I just love hanging out with you guys. I would just do this just to hang out with you. You know? Anyway, here we go. So this is your Sagittarius Astrodoodle for October. Let's focus on the yellow stuff, okay? That's you. Identifying you, put you in the first place, the first house, like on the horizon, kerblam, under the spotlights. That's all about you. You still have Jupiter here, Sagittarius, so you're extremely lucky just to be you. That's it. How lucky can you be? And Jupiter's direct as well. Okay, let's keep going. So for you, the Libra Aries axis, okay, the new moon and the full moon happen in some harmonious alignments with you. The 11th house and the 5th house, okay? So, let's have a look. Over here, new starts, new beginnings, the Libra new moon, harmony, balance, sweetness, love, diplomacy, relationship, harmony in relationships. That's happening over here in your 11th house of community, humanity, dreams for the future, dreams for humanity, where it's really not about you at all anymore, Sagittarius. It's about like what's best for the world and how can I make my own most amazing Sagittarius self so, let's say, useful to the planet, to the world, to humanity. So you're going to have a chance right there, okay? Right at the very beginning of the month, new moon Libra, 1st of October, hint, hint, actually left over from September. Thank you. So, what are you going to do with that? It's in a very comfortable, sweet position for you. The Libra Sagittarius energy is what's called a sextile, so it's very comfortable. It's like mutual opportunity. So you can really benefit this month, especially in the first 3 weeks, okay? So I put a lot of big fat green energy here, mostly for the first 3 weeks. So let's take advantage of this. Let's really take full advantage of this. So you start the month off with a really sweet posture, okay? And a couple weeks later, you're going to reach the full moon in Aries. And look at that. It lands right over here in your 5th house around the 13th and 14th of October. This is the energy of creative self-expression, risk, challenge, fun, excitement, happiness, joy, true love and romance and falling in love and being in love. And it's real. And it's totally real. It's about playtime. It's about happiness, joy. It's really, this is a super, super beneficial alignment for you. So I hope all the Sagittarians take full advantage of October, because what's going to happen towards the end is you're going to get this kind of queasy, oh gulp, sickly kind of feeling when everything starts to shift into the Scorpio new moon. Okay, so this, here we start off over here, okay? Remember, this is not a real astrology chart. This is a Tarot Lumination Astrodoodle. So we start over here. 2 weeks later, we come to the full moon, awakenings, realizations, culminations, understandings, in really good, sweet ways for you, Sagittarius. You're obviously doing something right, and you're going to realize that, and you're going to know that, because you're going to see it in your world around you. Like, wow, I'm actually doing okay about certain things, especially when it comes to how I express myself and how people respond. It's really, let's say, mutually beneficial, mutually supportive energy here. You are loving and you are loved in your own Sagittarius way. 2 weeks later, we still have to get through the whole of October, because right at the very tippy end, the sun enters Scorpio, your 12th house. And that's where things might get a little awkward, because your 12th house energy over here is going to be representing all the stuff that you have been burying for the last year as you've been going through a whole solar cycle of the Sagittarius life cycle. And anything and everything that you couldn't handle or didn't want to handle because it's not fun or it's not exciting or it's not very adventurous, you just stuff it over here in this 12th house, which is like the equivalent of your own trash bin, your own psychic landfill, your own basement or attic or trash bag where you just dump all the junk that you can't or don't want to handle. And of course, if that gets really filled up with a lot of toxic goop, then this stinks up everything else in the rest of your life. So hopefully it's not going to be too contaminated. It's the place of self-sabotage. It's the place of where you need to heal. It's the place where you end up imprisoned because of your own silliness. It's the place of knowing where you need to take a vacation, check yourself into a rest home. I'm sorry, Sagittarius. I don't know why I'm enjoying your reading so much, because that's all about getting you prepped up. Okay, I'm not going to worry about the rest of this stuff later, but because you need to get prepped up for the November season, which could be really uncomfortable for you before you get back to Sag for real. Okay, so let's focus on the sweet stuff for now. Let's see what happens with this later on. Okay, let's get on with it, people. I'm going to use 3 spreads. I'm going to do a little miniature crucible spread. Okay, it's about relationships and love and romance. Okay. But more to do with basically really, really, really important people in your life. The people that you love and the people who love you, or perhaps your own worst enemies. It could be any one of those. You choose. So that's going to be number 1. Then we're going to go on to a situational spread because I want to do a diagnostics on you guys, all right? And then we're going to round it off with a little oracle to get back to earth and just get you set up for October. All right, here we go. Cards are well shuffled in advance. No jumpers, no flyers, no reversals. I never understood reversals, and I never will. The cards are beautiful the way they're painted. Just imagine you go to an art gallery, dear Sagittarius, and all your artworks are in display, and then 3 of them out of all 13 have been hung upside down. How would you feel about that? Okay? I'm not saying anything else. So with this crucible spread, it's on the understanding that there's you, Sagittarius, there is a certain or certain significant others, and then there's the third entity. It's a living, breathing thing, the relationship itself, okay? And you guys own that. This is not a couples reading. It's just about you, Sagittarius, but we're allowing for a significant other. And everything is energy, okay? So let's just do this. Let's cut it all up. Cards are well shuffled in advance. Thank you for being here. Remember to invite your invisible friends. Make the best of this because they're out there and they love doing this stuff with you because they really want you to optimize your life. Climb the big mountain and get the big view instead of being covered in fog and stuck in customs and security. So here we go. Imagine yourself like a smartphone. You're constantly transmitting, receiving energy like a transceiver. You are a transceiver, even in love and relationship, okay? And, significantly, there is another one over here doing the same thing. Who might that be? Hopefully you will identify. And over here, this is the thing that you guys own together, whether you like it or know it or not. It's called a relationship. So you can already see a miniature crucible right here. It's a bowl. It's a structure in which people intimate and separate. Typically, people get into these situations because they want all the advantages of love and being loving, being loved, and that can only happen in the context of relationships. So relationships are incredibly important in the human experience. As we are loving, as we are loved, as we intimate, and as we separate, okay? It's like the ocean waves. It never, ever, ever, ever stops. But in a situation like this, a chosen relationship, it's deliberate. So you're exposing yourself to the most awesome version of another and the worst version of another. And they are exposing themselves to the worst version of you and the most wonderful version of you simultaneously. And that's kind of a commitment, and then you deal with it, the relationship itself. You'll see in a moment. It's a living thing. You can't put it in a box, you can't see it, but it is a relationship, and it has an identity, mission, purpose, and like a growth. Think of it like a potted plant. Think of this as the bowl, as a potted plant, and something's growing here. What is that? Also around here, just like everything in a garden in nature, You're surrounded by energy, the energy of the planets, rain. On down here on Earth, that would look like things like rain, cold, heat, sunlight, darkness, nutrition, deprivation, whatever it is. So we're going to look at that. Look at the weather. I like to think of the planets. You know, I love to blame the planets. It's because they have such significant impact on our lives, whether we like it or know it or not. But that does not negate free will. Okay? Thank you, Stephen Stanel, for that one. Okay, here we go. Let's have a look. So, Ace of Cups. Wow. Wow, lucky you, Sag. No one else has had this in the October reports, you know. So, like, it's almost like you're freakishly lucky. Luckily, I was going to say, it's lucky you're freakish. No, but it's freakish luck. That's what it is. So, with the Ace of Cups here, to me, this is the energy of golden opportunity. It's a really tremendous opportunity for you to take advantage of the planets right now. I'm really emphasizing the planets because this is so fortuitous and beneficial for you. Do you see all this green? Do you know how rare it is that I put a lot of green in a Tarot Lumination Astrodoodle? This is really sweet for you, so please take advantage of this. I would ask you to consider this as the embodiment of love, okay, in how it can work in your life. Okay, over here, Libra energy, your 11th house. How are you operating in the world of community, in your community, your people, your tribe, your club, the people with whom you resonate? How are you going to do the serious upgrade, Sagittarius? What are you going to do about that? That's over here. That's this section here. You've got a tremendous opportunity. It's very harmonious for you. Okay, so let's work on that. And once you've figured that out, whatever it is you're going to do, I don't know what that is, you would know, then that's going to have really sweet consequences. Like you could even say in your love life. Or just say in your ability to be more Sagittarian, more expressive, more joyful, having more fun being more Sagittarian than ever. And that's ruled by the Aries energy, which is going to be highlighted towards the middle of the month when we have the full moon in Aries. So this is really, really sweet for you. And I am equating this with the Ace of Cups, okay, that we saw over here. This is the energy of opportunity, and you are the planet at the sign of luck, okay, the 777, all of that stuff. So this wouldn't be here unless you've earned it. So you must be doing something right, Sag. You must be doing something right. So, because this is so rich and it's so abundant, it's so right there for you right now, are you aware? Good question. Are you even aware of this? Because if you're not, it's time to become acutely aware of how incredibly fortunate you are for this little nugget of time in humanity. For these next few weeks, please take advantage of this, because this is a gateway of opportunity that's opening for you to bring love into your life in ways that have never happened quite before. Now, how do you define love? How do you find the healing power of love? Are you talking about a romantic love, an esoteric love, a platonic love, a marriage type love? That's for you to figure out, Sage. All I'm suggesting here is the opportunity and the gateway here is wide open for the loving energy to flow. This is all about the healing power of love flowing into your life from up above. It's right there for you. Let's have a look. What are you radiating over here? With the High Priestess energy, my feeling is that as wonderful as this is, you might not be as aware as you need to be. Because you might be so immersed in just, what I would call day-to-day life, that you're just, let's say, moving along, being, okay, Sagittarius, you might resonate with this. I see this as wizardess kind of energy. Forget the gender, whether you're a guy watching or a female, doesn't matter. What I'm suggesting here is what you're radiating is really, really high frequency Sagittarian energy. Okay? Like the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding that you carry within you like from birth, and it is your birthright, and it is your job to share that with your community and bring that light and this energy. It's almost like you are being challenged to bring your wisdom, your wizardry, your wizardry s energy, never mind, into the community in such a way that it's very valuable for the community. So it feels like it's a very selfless type of energy here. What I'm sensing is that part of you is tuned into it. You already understand that. It's like, hey, I'm Sagittarius. I'm doing everything I can to be the most effective, let's say, conduit of really super high frequency psychic energy. And like, let's take it down a little bit. You know, things like ESP, HSP, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, mediumship, all that kind of energy. You might be getting more and more in tune with that with yourself as an individual, and figuring out, how can I make myself useful to humanity, or at least my community, in such a way that I literally become an instrument of the healing power of love over here. Okay, so I think this is very much related to the Libra new moon over here. This is a really, really golden opportunity for you to be the conduit. Okay, the high priestess energy is almost like the energy of being a psychic medium who has to act as an intermediary between the great beyond and our physical three-dimensional world. And so you might be getting really tuned into that more than ever before, in ways that you never even knew existed. And the beauty is that all you have to do is just be you, Sagittarius, and tune into the vibes, tune into the good vibes. You don't have to control this or manipulate it or manage it or squish it or anything like that, because you're already in the vibes. And so whatever you don't need to do or don't know, it doesn't matter. You're only going to convey what you need to know when you need to know it, for the community, for your life, for your world, for yourself, in ways that are appropriate in the now, in the moment, in the moment, in the moment. Nothing more, nothing less. The past doesn't exist. The future doesn't exist. The only thing that counts is now, and the messages that are coming into you and through you. It's almost like being, I'm getting so freaking carried away here. My feeling is, sorry, everything got froze. I have to reboot. Give me a second. Tech issues. I'm going to do this. Bear with me. I'm going to try and talk my way through it so that so I don't lose the momentum here. I have to crash the whole thing and start all over again. I had to do a huge Windows reboot today. They force you to do it. There's no way out of it. And it destroyed so much stuff here on the channel and with my technology. And I've spent hours and hours in between each show just trying to recalibrate and salvage everything. It's just been, they think they're trying to help you. Like, everything was working beautifully, and then it wasn't. Okay, so I'm going to try something over here. Give me a second. I'm still working at this, and I'm going to just make sure everything's okay. And we'll see about that in a moment. I'm going to try something now. Give me a second, please bear. This is a test. This is a test, people. It's working. I'm back. I can't believe it. I need to take some of my own advice and do some like deep meditative, chillax healing practices. It's their technology, what they do with like Windows 10 and YouTube and all that. It's just like, if everything's working, why are you messing with it? I don't get it. Just don't get it. It's so painful. All right, Sag, so we're back. All right, we're back. Don't you worry. We've got this. We've totally got this. Now, so it feels to me, what I was trying, before we got rudely interrupted, what I was trying to conduct here, what I was trying to indicate, what I'm sensing for you, Sag, is that in the context of love and relationship, but above love and relationship, but purely and primarily the really significant relationships in your life, you're operating at super, super high frequencies because you can. Okay? And I think a lot of that is to do with the alignments that are coming through for you, which are very like harmonious and beneficial for you. And so you're going with it. You're taking full advantage of the opportunity. There's the Ace of Cups there. It wants you to take full advantage of that and just go with it. So that's what you're doing. So what that requires is for you to kind of go into this, like, what I think of as like this wizardess mode. Tap into your divine feminine energy and let that energy flow through you as though you are some kind of like super ultra high powered smartphone beyond anything that's ever been built or designed, or that could ever be built and designed, because it could only happen through humans. Okay, let me go back. Okay, so you're doing that. You're being a really super premium high-end Sagittarian. Okay, you only deliver messages that need to be delivered. You are only operating as a transceiver in terms of, basically, it's almost like you're a filter. Whatever anybody needs to know, they will need to know. Anything that they don't need to know, they won't know. And you're literally operating like the transceiver. That's it, okay? So that's super high frequency energies here. I don't know how anyone else is going to handle that. Let's have a look. Over here with the Emperor. So, dear Sagittarius, in your life, in your world, if there's anyone around you who's very, very close to you, who is intimidated by you and your own awesome power and all the sweet stuff that's happening for you and with you through this month, that would be okay. That would be normal. Because this, to me, this looks like such strong, super supportive energy that's really beneficial for you, Sagittarius, that it might like start showing and glowing in your aura. If you like put all this together here, this is a mighty powerful energy, and it's moving through your body and you're the conduit, okay? And that can sometimes be a little intimidating for some people, to the point where like it's almost like, who do you think you are? Dear Sagittarius, understand that I am me, and I'm the boss of me in my own life and everything, and I like that. And I'm not particularly comfortable with the idea of someone else outshining me or like operating at my frequencies. So, dear Sagittarius, this might sound very awkward and nothing to do with this reading, but I'm feeling it very strongly here. If you, Sagittarius, are in certain significant relationships where, let's be honest, there's some kind of power imbalance, okay? Where, for example, someone has a lot of power over you, or you have a significant advantage over another, where there's a very distinct disparity, and it's evident, and you know about it, and they know about it, it's time to fess up. It's time to confess and accept it and deal with it, because it's actually... it looks like it's something that needs to be confronted and faced, because it looks over here with the Emperor energy, as powerful as this card is, to me it feels very uncomfortable. Like there are certain significant others who are perhaps the mirror of you, where they're recognizing like, wow, you really are that amazing, dear Sagittarius. Dear Sagittarius, it's almost like, pretend I'm talking here. Dear Sagittarius, I am amazing myself, okay? Otherwise I wouldn't be with you. I love myself very much, okay? But I have to tell you, I'm noticing signs that you, yourself, are quite amazing in your own way, but it's in a way that's actually almost outshining me, almost intimidating me, and I'm not sure I'm very comfortable with that. I just wanted to let you know I like to have a sense of balance of power. In the reality, what they're saying is like, I like to be the boss. I don't like it when I am challenged by my so-called significant other. But the whole story could be reversed, where like they're like you might be feeling challenged by a significant other in that they are overwhelming you. Okay? And this needs to come to your attention, because with the Libra energy over here about harmony and balance and literally diplomacy of making everything sort of equal in your community. If you're in a community environment in your life, in your world, your people, where you already know the good stuff of what's going on, but you're sensing that there's someone, just imagine it, okay? Just imagine you're in a setting where, like, it's almost like you're too good, you're too bright, you're too optimistic, you're too much, to the point where you actually become a threat at the egoic level to someone or certain people in your life, in your world, who actually think like, who do you think you are, Sag? You know, like, you know, what about the community? Like, you're too smart, you're too shiny, you're too bright, you're too inspirational. And that makes us, or certain ones of us, feel inferior. Okay? Again, that's not your problem, Sagittarius. Your job is just to be you. So what I'm sensing here is I'm going to do it like this. Imbalances of power. No, I'm not going to do it like that. I'm going to do it like this. Okay? Imbalance of power. Okay? Okay? Like this. If there's a lot of imbalance of power in terms of like the flow of love, giving and receiving love, being appreciated, being adored, being the boss and in control, if it's a bit like this, you're probably going to get an awakening. If it's a bit like this, then you're probably going to get another awakening. But each one is the same thing. It's just one version is the flip side of the story. So if Sagittarius, in your relationship dynamics for this month, because you have so much juicy energy supporting you, if that becomes a threat to other people, or other people become a threat to you, please be aware of that, okay? It's because they can't handle the power. Okay? So be aware of that, okay? Hey, Candace, I see you. I see you. Hey, Love Triber, I see you. Okay, let me keep going here. What about at the core? Okay, with the 7 Pentacles. So, you know what I was saying about here, taking advantage of the Ace of Cups energy here? All this amazing opportunity for really delicious, like what I would call love energy from heaven above to flow into your life from up above. Take advantage of that and use that kind of as almost like a big, bright, shining light, a big, big dose of supportive nature from the ones that you love and the people who truly love you, who are really on your side, and they recognize you. I'm not talking about an individual here, but I'm talking about everybody around you, Sagittarius, who understands your awesomeness, understands the challenges that you're under, and the imbalances that I'm sensing here. And you're taking the message in a very impersonal way. Let's just say, okay, thank you, Tarot Lumination. I get a glimpse of what you're talking about. There's a certain particular someone. I'm out of balance with them, or they're out of balance with me, and they're not taking it very well, or I'm not taking it very well. So that is a really powerful indicator of what needs to get cleaned up and clarified and purified for getting prepped up for the Scorpio season. Because you're going to start to get exposed to this towards the end of the month. So my feeling is you could be grateful to the relationship itself for being an environment in which you can discover, thanks to the imbalances in relationships, you're going to get a chance to discover what is not working in love and relationship. Because you have all this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 delicious, highly identifiable pentacles of all the good stuff that is working. But you're going to come to a realization, perhaps in an awkward, sort of uncomfortable way, of what's not working. And so that's going to be a powerful trigger, like, oh my gosh, so I have to clean up this. I have to clean up that. I have to clean up that. I have to do the cleanup here, do the cleanup that. Okay, remember, at the very early stages of October, we still have a bit of Virgo energy there. And that's telling everybody, cleanse, clarify, refine, purify, okay? Improve your day-to-day habits, okay? Do what has to be done to cleanse and clarify your life ongoing so that you are not so impacted by the things that aren't working for you. And you would learn that in the context of relationships. So in other words, let's say there is some kind of really awkward imbalance and it's like this. or it's like this, and that's uncomfortable. And you learn that in a way that is not too painful, but it does become apparent, okay? So take advantage of all this really, really sweet, good stuff here, because it's happening in the love arena, the creative self-expression, and it's happening in the community. And so there's so much here that can be learned and gleaned from those parts of your life, because you're going to need to know all that once you get towards the end of the month. So the reason I'm saying it is because the Virgo Pisces energy has been very stressful for you for quite a while, okay? Okay. So you're getting a bit of a hangover effect from that. So if you look into the relationship, at the very core, it's just like, I knew it. Tarot Lumination was getting all carried away and excited about all the big picture stuff, but let's come crashing down to earth here and take care of the reality. The reality is that there's work to do, people. There is work to do, stuff that has to be done in order to get my act together. I'm a Sagittarius. I don't like having to do that stuff necessarily. I'm much happier being out in the big world, big wide world, doing the adventures, and then having to realize, oh my gosh, I have to clean up my backpack. Oh, I need a new pair of shoes. Oh, my GPS systems are redundant. I need an upgrade. Oh gosh, I have to check in with all my friends and family and loved ones where that I might have forgotten about while I was doing my big epic stuff that I do. So I just have to do it, okay? Like every big adventure, and your whole life, Sagittarius, is kind of like this epic adventure. You have to go through downtime periods where you know, it's a deconstruct or decompress for the last adventure. Clean up, clarify, get ready for the next big adventure, because that's what's all lined up for you here. That's what like the heavens want for you. And being an opportunist, of course you're going to grab that and go for it, but it just means having to do the prep work. Hey, I saw that. Thank you for the donation, whoever that was. I just saw a little blue blip. Okay, so what is happening over here? So with Judgment, my feeling with the Judgment card here is that it's a little bit of frustration, because it's almost like you're so eager to get back to being really classic Sagittarius, but it feels to me like you're already sensing the fact that you're going to have to live through October, which is potentially very nutritious for you, but it's quickly, by the end of the month, it's going to take you into that place where you know you're going to have to do a lot of, let's say, inner work, inner examination, go into the world of having to discover, do the debriefing for the last year of your life before you start the new year of your life in the Sagittarius season. And you already can, it's almost like you can sense it, because you have such big, broad breadth of vision. You can already sense the new vistas and new horizons opening up for you. It's months away or many weeks away, but you can handle it. I want the liberation. I deserve the freedom. I'm going to get there. It's going to happen for me. I know it. I know it. I know it. All I know is that I have to admit to myself, it's not going to happen unless I deal with this stuff that I have to deal with now, which is the stuff that Sagittarius typically wouldn't like to deal with. My passport expired. My driving license needs to be renewed. My insurance lapsed. I need to do a whole reboot on my mobile, systems. My miniature, laptop that I use for global communications when I'm doing my epic life and all of that stuff. Hey, Pat, thank you so much. Really, I mean, fantastic. Thank you. So, this feels like it's a really big reading, and it has a very broad reach to the reading. And you're doing fine. You're going to do fine. It just means having to go deep within, live through some stuff that you really would prefer not to do with, but you're going to have to do it to come out the other side, get through the whole Scorpio season. This is a ridiculous reading, because for me it feels like it's stretching all the way into Sag season. Knowing that by living through this authentically, honestly, and genuinely, you're going to be okay. You're going to get the freedom to like start from scratch again, unshackled, all ready to roll with a whole new Sagittarius lifestyle package deal waiting for you. You know that. It's there. It's coming for you. It's waiting for you. You've done the work of the last 10, 11 months. So you're going to get there, okay? You just might be a little frustrated. The early parts of October, fine. But when you get into the Scorpio season, then all this reading is going to make a lot more sense to you, okay? You're doing fine, Sagittarius. Luckily, you've got someone there who is at least offering themselves as a mirror, okay? Sometimes a person's light can be so big and so bright, as generous as it is. Hey, thank you, Candice. I see that. Wow, this is fantastic. We're getting super chats while we're doing live reports. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have to say thank you in person. Hold on. Thank you so much. Okay? Okay, let's get back to the reading, people. I don't want to get out of the drift with Sag. Okay, so over here. So I hope that made sense to you, dear Sagittarius. These are very strong, powerful energies here, but they're very, very different. It doesn't mean like your love life sucks or anything. It's just that people's lives and chapters go through different episodes, okay? Think of it, when I see these things, it's like I'm watching a little movie. Sometimes it's episodic. Sometimes my feeling is that you're going through a certain episode of a much bigger television series. Think of yourself as the star of a Netflix television series, and there's 3 or 5 or 7 or maybe 12 episodes. And we're going through episodes 10 and 11, heading towards 12. Okay, I hope that makes sense for you. Let's move on. I'm going to do a situational spread. This is kind of like almost like, what do we need to watch out for, people? What is there a possible threat? Let's look at the situation. They use the situation room in Washington, D.C. when there's a threat situation or anything that needs to be figured out. They call a meeting and say, let's go to the situation room. And then they have these huge whiteboards and computer systems, and all the leaders and bosses of the country convene and say, okay, well, what are we going to do now? First of all, what's the situation? What's the challenge? And then how are we going to handle this stuff? Okay? So let's have a look. It's the same spread I use on Sunday Night Live. Okay, so it's nothing fancy. But it is like a sniper bullet. It really has a tendency to get to the point. Okay? Okay, let's have a look. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Ooh, that was a weird split. Really big and really tiny all at once. Here's the situation. Here's how we're going to handle it. Okay, and and these are the challenges, and here's how we're going to handle it. So let's have a look over here. Remember, this is a big, broad spectrum reading, even though it's just a few cards. I like to look at the planets, but it could be anything. If there's certain things in your life that are really stressing you out or really beneficial, we need to identify that. I look at the planets because I think of that as the fundamental driver behind a lot of the gravitational, magnetic influences that happen in our life, conscious or unconscious, okay? Over here, we have the 8 of Swords. So my feeling is that this is kind of like a message, to me it feels like a very subtle message. Very, very subtle, but very important message for you, dear Sagittarius, especially from the great beyond, from your loved ones, from your invisible friends. It's like saying, hey, Sag, don't you worry. Don't you worry through October. There's an awful lot of really good stuff happening for you. Don't be too scared or intimidated by what Tarot Lumination is saying. A lot of that is in the mind. You're going to be going back and forth, day by day by day, through all sorts of intricate, challenging puzzles that may confound you, but you're going to do it and you can handle it and you will get through. Think of yourself as a child in a maze, okay? And you have been brought to an amusement park or somewhere, and your parents are just trying to teach you what it's like to feel lost and challenged at the same time. And so you're blindfolded And everybody knows that you're not going to get hurt. No one's going to get hurt here. But it's like having the experience as if, okay? So it's almost like a test here. Like you're being tested, Sagittarius, to like behave really well and take full advantage of all the sweet Libra Aries energy for you this month, and treat that as the fun and the thrill of living through a maze, but also understanding that you're being basically tested, really, really challenged here, because by the end of the month, you're going to need to be in very, very sharp, acute, good condition here to get through the Scorpio season. Okay? What's the situation? Whoa, High Priestess again. Oh, wow. Okay. So, with the High Priestess energy here, my feeling is that it's inevitable. There's going to be, like, there's no ambiguity anywhere here, any way, shape, or form at all. You are being pushed through a gateway of opportunity. It is challenging. It is a puzzle. You are being pushed almost like maybe even against your will to become this energy here, which is very harmonious for you. You're being pushed to become almost like a seer, you know, S-E-E-R, more than ever before. In other words, it feels like you are being pressured very gently but very seriously, and it is a golden opportunity to become more Sagittarian than ever. You know, Sagittarians have a reputation for being the wise ones, for being the seers, for being the ones who go out into the wilderness, into the great beyond, just to satisfy their own curiosity about how does everything work down here on Earth. And then they tend to come back on Earth here and tell stories, amazing adventure stories about what they discovered. Well, my feeling here with this, the High Priestess, is that we're going next level here. You're being invited, encouraged, trained, pressured, and having a great opportunity to become not just a Sagittarian in a three-dimensional sense, but a Sagittarian in the true sense, the seer, the one who knows, who has direct access to very high levels of consciousness, knowledge, and wisdom. It's like having a magic key into a vast library of knowledge and wisdom and resources that would overwhelm people. And so it only goes to a few people, and that happens to be you, Sag. So you get in there, and now you're exposed to all the energy behind the veil. Like, you get the chance. Like, it's almost like you won the lottery, and you got invited to see what it's like behind the veil. Okay? To me, that's amazing. But it also comes with great responsibilities back down here on Earth. Okay? What are you going to do with that? Here's the challenges. There's oh my gosh, part of me feels like, oh man, I wish I didn't want this. I didn't ask for this. Why is it coming to me? I didn't ask for this. It's almost like I just want to go and have fun. I just want to have some adventures, have a life, and do cool things with the people that I like and love me. And everyone else can figure out their own problems. Okay? So the challenge is that you may be feeling as though it's almost like, to me it feels like, damn it, sometimes I wish I wasn't a Sag. Now everyone's going to be expecting me to have so much to offer the community and have so much more joy and light than ever before, and I'm going to discover that through the new moon and the full moon, and that's great and that's awesome, but I never asked for that. And why is it happening? Damn it. Okay, that might be a very strange interpretation for the Six of Swords here, but that's what I'm sensing here. Because deep down it makes me feel that you just wanted to go off on another adventure. In other words, I don't really want to evolve, grow, and adapt and blossom. I just want to enjoy life as it is. But the thing is, to me it feels like you're under a lot of pressure. These are some huge cards here to evolve, grow, and adapt and blossom, because you have an obligation to the community. And So it's almost like you're going to go through an initiation. To me, this feels very much like an initiation ceremony, like what they do at colleges and schools and universities, where you get hazed, seriously hazed. They're like, it's like, congratulations, congratulations, you got accepted. You're the one who got the lucky draw to get the access to the great beyond. And everyone's like, yay, 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 yay. And then they're going to like haze you when you go through the access point, like, ha, ha, ha. You're going to wish you'd never entered that lottery and that you'd never won. But it's okay. It's just a hazing. You will survive. Okay, so how do we deal with this? Okay, to me this looks like a maturation and growth energy. It's very much about, to me it feels like deep growth with the Five of Cups here. The grief and the sorrow that you can never go back to the immature, let's say, irresponsible or negligent or party person or wild person or just the, you know how Sagittarians just have so much fervor for life, and then having to do something really heavy, serious and responsible with your energy, it's almost like, oh my God, I'm going to have to deal with it. I'm going to have to accept that I have to mature and grow and let go and say goodbye to all these aspects of life and love that really meant so much to me as I go on to my spiritual evolution and growth and healing, which I know is right there. It's sitting there, and the journey will continue here. But the reality is, like, if you don't accept the challenge, if you don't accept the responsibilities here, if you don't go with the flow, if you don't go to where you're being guided to go, then it's like you're doing self-harm. And we don't do that on this channel, okay? We're trying to find ways to get around it. So the way to get around that is to understand it looks like a really convulsive opportunity for growth and healing, initiation into the new next levels of Sagittarius, becoming the seer more than ever before. And it has to be at the expense and loss and saying goodbye to the less mature version of Sagittarius that you've loved and known for so long. This is a very serious, what I would think of as a growth spurt. And, you know, you're no longer the child anymore. You're no longer the innocent, fun-loving Sagittarius. You are the wise one. You are the seer. You're becoming that person, and you're going to meet all the challenges that come with it, and you're going to rise to it. And so it's okay to grieve at the loss of the old one as you welcome in the new one. That's how you do it, okay? I'm going to tuck all this to the side a little bit more because we're going to round this out with an oracle. You know, when I do these readings, I really see them as a cinematic experience. And it's a little bit different from the way some people read readings, but I know I have to be who I am. Let's see, I'm going to round this out with an oracle now, okay? With the oracle here, it's just a simple grounding energy. I'm trying to condense everything. I'm going to take advantage of the Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn, combine that with Uranus and Taurus, and then sweeten it up with Neptune and Pisces, and I'm going to squish all that energy into one card like a little nugget. Now, pretend we just had a big feast of a dinner, and this is your little to-go bag, whatever leftovers that you need to carry with you that you can look forward to later on. Simple, grounding, common sense message, okay? That's all it is. Let's get back down to earth. You know, you can be way up in the clouds there sometimes, Sag, but we also need to live down here on the planet, especially when you bring your wisdom down to the rest of us. Coming down to earth. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Here we go. Let's try this. And then this. I tried to make it a very rich cut so that it's very specific for you, Sag. Okay? And here's your card. Achievement. Wow. To me it looks like there's a lot is expected of you, Sagittarius, because you have so much. Okay? With great, let's say, opportunity. there's a reason and a purpose for it. Okay? Like people who have so much in life, have so much abundance in life, you know, squandering that stuff on things like booze and parties and just, you know, wanton consumption, it's kind of gross. It's like a depletion. It's such a waste. You have so much here, and this is very much about maturing and growing into your new self than ever before, and getting prepped up for that growth curve, that growth phase. Let me read from the book here about achievement. Keep focused on your own dreams, okay? There's basically what I'm sensing is that there's a lot of responsibility that's coming your way. It might be unwelcome because it's so much more fun to have the freedom without the responsibilities. But with the responsibilities, maybe there's a bit of sorrow, you know. It's like grow up. It's time to grow up, people. There's no looking back. So there's a bit of sadness that goes with it. That's what I'm sensing. Grief and the sorrow. Let me read from the book here for you. Keep focused on your dream. You will soon achieve a goal that you had set for yourself. Your hard work and persistence is about to pay off. Know that you deserve all the success that is coming your way, whether that's a few days, week, I think it's a couple of months from now when you get into the Sag season. Quietly acknowledge this to yourself as you celebrate your achievements. Thank the earth and universe for this blessing in the knowledge that all you do is a co-creation with the higher powers that be. Wow, I'm starting to see the relevance here about how this, it like supports the whole thing here. Now refocus your attention back to the tasks at hand. Basically come back down to earth, do what has to be done in a three-dimensional life, but do not neglect or underestimate the power that you have, the gifts that you have, the responsibilities that you have, the achievements that you've made, okay? Do not lose sight of your original purpose and intention. This is only the beginning. Much more can be accomplished provided you keep focused on your dream. Remember what is truly important to you. It may be helpful to set a new goal. This could be bigger and more fulfilling than you ever imagined or ever before, okay? I think this is a really big spread. Even though it's just 1 month reading, I think this is extending like a shockwave ripple effect through November and into December, into Sagittarius season. And this whole message here is like, it's time for you to start getting prepped up. Do what has to be done, like you're planning for a new expedition, but it's a bigger and more serious and more important expedition than ever before. And that's the new life. You already know what it's like to achieve. You know what it takes to win. You've got your credentials already, but we're taking everything to the next level here. Okay? Everything is going next level. So you're going to be saying goodbye to the kid, the teenager, the youth of Sagittarius, and you're going into full adulthood and full maturity here. Full-blown Sagittarius to the max, okay? So I'm going to put this over here, set this aside, and that's your reading. That is it. Hopefully this works. It does. Hello, Sag. I hope that makes sense for you. I see like a multi-layered story there where it all kind of crushes down to like, I know what you're saying, TL. Like, the first few weeks of October can feel so comfortable. Just go with it, grab it all. But understand that it's not just about partying. It's about really tuning into what does it really mean here in terms of your creative self-expression, what you can offer to the world and the community, and how you are loved and appreciated accordingly, okay? Because then you're going to be going through a hazing experience, okay, through the Scorpio season, and then you'll come out of that, and you'll move into the Sagittarius new moon, the new birth, the new year, a whole new vista opening up for you. But it's higher level, higher frequency, okay? So I hope that makes sense. Let's get back to the stage here, people. So that's your reading. I'm going to check out with you guys now and leave you guys to it. It's late Friday night here. I know you guys, or some of you, it's very late for you. I don't want to keep you up. It's been a real pleasure to have you here so we can do this. And let's have a look. Actually, what I'm going to do is play just a little tunes to relax here a little bit, so we can all get on with our lives, okay? And just kind of move on from there. Bear with me. So I'm going to say farewell. Thank you so much. I got a bit carried away there, but it felt like an IMAX movie for me. That's kind of how I felt it. So I hope you don't mind. I'm going to leave you guys to it now. It's been super evening. Thank you so much for your company and support. It's been fantastic. All right. I'm going to check out with you guys.